Hello children, today we will be discussing about pure functions and impure functions. First of all, pure functions. A function which does not change or modify the state of formal arguments is called as a pure function. An impure function is a function which changes the state of the formal arguments or parameters, that is known as an impure function. The ultimate result of the function depend on the arguments that are received by the function. In the impure function, the ultimate result depends on the changes of the arguments that are received by the function. Let us take an example here. Suppose there is a class A. I am writing here int any name of the function. Let me write the name as pure. I am taking two parameters int x, int y. I am writing here if x is greater than 3, return x, else if y is less than 4, return y, else return 0. This is the end of the function. Now I am writing the main. Public static void main. You all know that. We have to write like this. Then I am writing here int a equals to 4, b equals to 3. Initializing two variables a and b. Next, what I am doing? I am writing int r equals to the pure function I am calling. R equals to pure and passing a comma b. Then I am writing sopln system.out.println. The value of r is printed here. End of main, end of the class. This is the function. In this program, within the function pure, the parameters of x and y are not modified or changed at any stage. Here we are taking different parameters a and b. Here we are taking different parameters x and y. The value of a will be copied into x and the value of b will be copied into y. If in this function I change the value of x as x equals to x plus 5, and then if I try to print it, it will print 4 plus 5, that is 9. But here if I try to print a, it will print 4. So actual parameters and formal parameters have different memory locations. The value of formal parameters are not changed. The value of formal parameters, if changed in the function, are not reflected in the actual parameters. This is the case of pure function. Now I will give an example of impure function. Now look at the example here. I am making a class again. Let me say B. Then I am writing static int h, a class variable. Then I am writing void display and I am passing a class object here, a class object. Then what I am doing, I am writing ob.h equals to ob.h multiplied by 50. I am writing sopln ob.h. I am printing it here. And then in main, public static void main, what I am doing, I am making an object here again, obj equals to new b. Then I am writing obj.h. I am initializing with 25. Then I am writing sopln. I am printing obj.h here. Then I am calling the function display and I am passing the object obj, and after this I am again printing obj.h. This is the end of main and this is end of class. Execution starts from main. So first of all we have declared the class object obj. In the class in the variable, this is the class variable, we can access it using the class object. We have initialized it with 25. So memory कैसे बनेगी? ऐसे बनेगी. This is the memory. जैसे ही पहला ऑब्जेक्ट बनाते हैं, it will allocate memory to the variable. ठीक है, और ये क्या बनेगा? obj.h. इसमें हमने इनिशियलाइज किया 25. obj.h को मेमोरी एलोकेट हो गई and 25 we have initialized. We are printing it here, so 25 is printed. Now we are passing this object to the function display. So all variables which are being referred over here will be referred with the same memory location will be referred with OB now. That means obj.h and ob.h दोनों same memory location share कर रहे हैं. Understood? So OB will also hold the value of h as 25. Now we are changing the value of h inside the display function. We are multiplying 25 with 50. That is equals to 1250. If we are going to print here, it will print 1250. And when we come back again to main function in the next line, here it will print 1250. So the output will be 25, then 1250, then again 1250. That means when we are passing an object of the class, it is passed by reference. This is called an impure function. It is changing the state of the object. State of the object means we are changing the state of the object. Any changes made inside this function will be reflected in the calling function also. This is called as impure function. This is the difference between pure and impure function. I hope you all must have understood now. Next topic which we are going to discuss today is nesting of functions. Calling or invoking a function of a class by another functions of the same class is called nesting of functions. For example, if we have declared a class A in which we are declaring a few functions, let me say sum, let me say display. I am not writing the definition, I am just writing the prototype, and main. In main, I am calling the function display like this, and inside display I am calling the function sum. This is called as nesting. When one function is being called inside another function of the same class, it is called as nesting of functions. I will give you an example. I'll write an example and explain it to you. Now look at this question. Create a class with the following functions. The first function is int square int. This is taking an integer parameter and return its square. The second function is void cube int int. It is taking two integer parameters and prints the sum of cubes of both the integers. The third function is void display. It is a function to assign two integers and print the square and sum of the cubes of these integers by invoking the functions cube and square. That means inside the function display we will be calling these two functions. So we will be writing a program to execute this. Let me take the class name as nesting. Now I'll write int, the first function, int square int n. What it is going to do, it is returning n into n. That is the square of the number which is passed as parameter. The second function is void cube. It is taking two parameters, int x, int y, and let me say I am declaring an integer variable here which is going to store the cubes of both the numbers like this, x cube plus y cube, and we are going to print also here. We are going to write sum of cubes equals to s. I hope this is visible now. The next one is void display. Here I am going to assign a equals to 4, b equal to 6 and res. First I am calling the square function and passing the value a, and then it will print square of a equal to res, because the return value is being stored in the variable res like this. And after that I will be calling the cube function and I am passing variables a and b. In the cube function it is going to calculate s and print there itself. So see, in this display function I am calling res and cube. So this is called as nesting. In one function we are calling another function of the same class. This is called as nesting. If I write public static void main string args and I declare an object of this class, nesting obj equals to new nesting, then I will simply call the display function. The display function itself is calling the square and the cube functions. So this will be the complete program. I hope all of you must have understood how nesting of functions is done. Thank you, children.